Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60 and Me. If you are entering your 60s, 70s, it's a time to celebrate. This is a time to be joyful and happy, and this is what 60 and Me is all about. But today I'd like to focus in on being 70 and how you can embrace your 70s with joy and purpose. Now I'm 74. I just recently did or posted my first video that I did for 60 and Me. That was 11 years ago, and I was in my 60s then, and most of you who joined me then were in your 60s, and it was wonderful to be over the last 10 years to be growing together. And I've discovered through just chatting with people on the 60 and Me community that a lot of women are now late 60s, early 70s, and we're kind of moving into this new phase of our lives and maybe reflecting on a life well lived, or maybe looking back on some things we wish we could have done differently, but mostly to cultivate a sense of gratitude and happiness and a positive mindset. Now, as I've mentioned this many times, I was not happy about being 60. I was 59 for 4 years before I finally admitted at 63 that I was actually in my 60s. And maybe we're doing the same with 70. 70 is kind of a big number. And when I turned 70, it was in a way easier because I'd overcome the 60s. But anyway, I've got some valuable tips, which I think are valuable based on my own experience, for how to navigate this time period in your life, these 70s, with grace. You could call it grace or purpose or fulfillment. It's okay that we've got this next chapter of our lives to really live fully and to enjoy. So first thing I think we have to learn as an older woman, we've learned it already, but it's just amplifying it as you get into your 70s, is that change is inevitable and we've got to adapt. To whatever's going on in our lives, we have to adapt. It may not be anything like what you thought it was going to be. It may be that your family situation is completely different, or that your medical situation is different, or you're not living at all where you want to be or intended to be, or doing the job that you wanted to do. So many things have changed. And I think that in addition to just the physical changes, the more wrinkles and then the changing, structure of your body, we are just having to be adaptable and deal with what we have. I know I hear a lot of comments sometimes on other sites and other places where women are just so resentful, as they get into their 60s and 70s, that they've missed something, that they didn't do what they meant to do. And I'm sort of taking an opposite approach and saying, whatever it was meant to be, and just do it and enjoy it and embrace it. So even if you didn't plan it or understand it, or, really see where it fits into the idea you had about your 70s, you're there. Embrace change and be adaptable. It's super, super important. The second thing, that another sort of way to embrace your 70s, is to stay healthy. Now, this is, I'm just being silly to say stay healthy as if it was some kind of a command, because it doesn't work that way. You get different chronic illnesses that, just happen as you get older. And there's some things you can't avoid. I just recently, this year, went through a major health issue with my gallbladder. And I didn't think about that. I didn't have on my to-do list remove gallbladder. It wasn't like that at all. It was just, it happened, and I had to adapt. So I've had to make some big changes in my life, and I think, that's important. So a balanced diet, good sleep, doing activities that you're going to do. Don't start things that are going to disappoint you, and I'm never going to finish that. Nurture your relationships. This is basically all about prioritizing self-care. In addition to just, managing the healthy issues with good medication sometimes, but also just generally taking care of yourself and pampering yourself, nurturing those relationships. That they've done all this research to show that friendships in your 70s and 60s and 70s are almost more important than anything else. It all contributes to a really positive view of life. It's really important. The other thing is having a gratitude attitude. Even if, like I've said, things didn't work out the way you hoped, or that your family didn't stay together the way you meant it to, or, you recognize some of the challenges that your, families are facing, and, you can't help them, or, it's just all those things that happen to you. But you've got to lift it up above that and say, I'm grateful for this. We're here. I'm grateful that I'm alive. I'm grateful that I've got, a mind that can work this through. And maybe, some of you are facing medical challenges, and I know many is affecting that clarity of mind. And that's okay. We have to kind of do what we can and reach out to others to give us some support. We have to admit that we need help. Another way you can embrace your 70s is to stay active and with mentally, learn stuff, make it a goal to, be a constant lifelong learner, read books, study, investigate, query things. I'm constantly, grandkids are great for this because it's like, what is a whatever? How does a maglev train work? I don't know. Let's ask the computer, because we're so lucky that we've got that. Another gratitude thing. But staying continuously curious and learning, it's important. It's super, super important. Another thing is to create a robust support network. It's related to this. If you don't have the ability to do some of these things, use a support network that can help you. It could be a family friend. It could be just a therapist. It could be someone that's online now to help coach, because there's so many beautiful women now doing coaching for older women and guiding you along this path. So in your 70s particularly, I think you've got an opportunity to say, I'm done worrying about what I should have done. Maybe in my 60s, I felt like I could be more dynamic and I could get things done and I could, solve all the problems of the family and the world. But now it's kind of like time to settle, land where you are. And I think, and to say to yourself, how can I make the best of what has happened so far in the 60 plus years? I'm now 70. What's gonna drive me forward, and do it in a way that's positive, for you. I'm not saying don't think about all the rest and take care of your responsibilities. I'm just saying it's kind of a time, in my opinion. And by the way, this is just my view, because I'm kind of on the 70s side, and I'm looking at you coming towards that. Many of you, some of you are in your 50s, and that's cool. Stay there and work it all out. Because this is not just for older women. 60 and me really is for women of any age. But anything, anyone over 50, 60 has got some how-to opportunities. But if you're 70, maybe there's another few that I don't know about. So I'd love your feedback on that for those women out there who are in their 70s. But practicing mindfulness is another way you can embrace this time of your life. And when I say mindfulness, I mean literally sitting down and stopping what you're doing and breathing. It doesn't have to be, a chant or a mantra or a religion. It can just simply be finding tranquility, finding a center, getting relaxed. When you think about all the challenges we have with our, our bellies and our extra fat and our faces and whatever, a lot of it is down to lack of sleep, good sleep, and basically not relaxing, stress. And I don't know, I just feel like in some ways in our 70s, we've got to kind of release the stress a little bit, give ourselves a break. We've done our best. Setting realistic goals, though, is a really important thing. That not to okay, I'm 71 and I've got to do this. I can't not do this until I'm, it's an important thing. Be realistic. If you haven't ridden or run a 25-mile marathon and you're 70, now, if you worked really hard, and I know some people that have done this, you can get to run a 25-mile marathon in your 70s. And there are many, many people that want to do it and can do it. But realistically, look at your situation. I, for example, have some places I'd like to travel. And I actually know now that I'm probably not going to do that. Because I carry an ankle brace with me when I travel, because I have a weak ankle. I know that I've got to watch my health conditions. So there's certain places and certain types of holidays that I probably, it's not a realistic goal for me to set that. So I've got other hobbies though, and I think that's another thing you can do to enhance your 70s, is to pursue the things that you love. Set goals that are realistic, but don't give up on the things that you is a struggle. Like, I really want to learn diamond painting. I've never learned it. It's something I want to learn. Pursue your hobbies with passion, because those are the times that you can enhance the 70s as a time of wisdom and experience, by experiencing what you did before, what you did well, what you learned, what you achieved, and just basically building on the last 60, 70 years. So 70 is a time, I think, for celebration, because I think it gives you permission to do some of the things I've talked about. Focus a bit more on you, a bit more self-care. Wear the clothes you want. Go to the places you want. Set new goals, but be realistic. Continuously learn. This is my big thing. I love learning. I just bought a quiz book the other day, but I was actually buying it for my grandson, but then I read things myself. I thought, gosh, I don't even know half of this myself. We're reading a book about the Roman history or the history of cultures. And it's like, really? I didn't know that. So it's like constant learning. I'm 70. I should know these things, probably learn them sometime. But make the most of this remarkable, remarkable time in your life. Cherish every single moment, every single day, and be grateful. But if you're out there and you are over 70 and you've been with 60andMe for a while and you've got some thoughts about maybe what things I might be adding to the amount and the content that we provide here online and on the videos, because maybe there are some things I'm missing. I think, mobility, chronic health issues. I mean, there's some things that 70-year-old women deal with that younger women don't, but I don't know if there's many. And I think it's mostly just a matter of honing in on the things that you want from this life. What do you want for you? Not for anybody else, for you. I hope that you found this useful. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming. Thank you so much for your support and your love. Always 50, 60, 70, 80, whatever your age, you're welcome here at 60andMe. I love you much and see you soon.